and he played it quite a bit. So as you see, Hani making a comment about that, but so that's some respect right there. Or taking the Behemoth with the first pick.
First pick Behemoth. I mean, there's a lot of powerful heroes on the board. I mean, we could try and list some of them, but they are. It's an open board. I mean, there just aren't enough bans to get rid of all those scary heroes. You know, we've heard arguments in the past of people suggesting, well, maybe we should increase the bans as to sort of scale with the increased amount of heroes in the pool. So, you know, it's one of these situations where, yeah, they took Behemoth because against Fnatic, who's been running him a lot, but were they going to pick him in the first two? You know, one of those sort of situations. Was that really necessary, and what did they give up in return?
Yeah, you can argue that, but something tells me they would have. I mean, again, if TT Esports thinks it's worth investing a first pick into a hero like Behemoth, they have been scrimming a lot against him lately. They've done their research, so something tells me it could have very likely happened. And it also could be a case of, you know what, sure, maybe you could have gone for that risk, but I'm sure they like to play Behemoth too. He is a very powerful hero, so
you got to share. Sharing is caring.
You know, sharing is caring, exactly. So might as well take it for themselves. Glacius and Aluna, though, the first two picks over here for Fnatic instead. So, you know, again, we'll see whether or not that's two really support players or heroes, or if we are going to see Aluna kind of in a more aggressive role, perhaps. But so far, after that Behemoth first pick at least, nothing too crazy about the first two picks over there for Fnatic.
Yeah, certainly not. I mean, Aluna is definitely a hero that, you know, leading up to this event, we did see a good frequency, but, I mean, today we have seen so much Aluna. It feels like almost every game has an Aluna in it.
Yeah.
Pretty close, at least. It would be interesting, actually, to track the hero usage this event. I think I saw that for one of the past DreamHacks that someone did.
Well, on that note, I actually was kind of browsing the forums earlier, and I believe the same guy that was doing it last year actually was talking about how he's doing it again this year.
Awesome.
So with the picks in the band. So, yeah, it's going to be cool kind of getting that information once again from a big event like this. So, but, yeah, just like you, on that note, I think Glacius was actually the most played hero in the last DreamHack event, which I found
That guy is a total badass, by the way. I don't know his name, but he made a spreadsheet for one of the It's Ghost turns. It's like, here you go. I'm like, how long did this take you to make? I mean, that's a lot of manual data you had to input. That's I wish I knew his name. We could give him a shout-out.
I know.
That guy on the forums.
I feel kind of bad. Yeah, that guy in the forums. You know who we're talking about. Yeah. You can definitely find it. So he deserves one, though. We'll find it later, I'm sure. Bubbles, Valkyrie, though, the follow two picks up here for TTS. So going with that Valkyrie pickup, and, you know, no WTF, but Leon Black has been playing a bit of Valkyrie lately. Currently on Slicks, but we'll see if that ends up staying here. So, but so far, again, aggressiveness, the name of the game here, written for TT Esports. Fnatic Raid call, that Polywalk Priest is open. He has been banned quite often. There it is, sure enough. No tail, Polywalk Priest. And the Silhouette also picked up. So, exciting to see a hero like Polywalk Priest played by a player like No Tail. So,
yeah, two exciting things here. One, I don't think we've seen Polywog Priest yet because he's been banned so much. And like you said, No Tail is a pretty well-known Polywog Priest player. So that is sort of a double whammy of positivity. And, of course, Silhouette being picked as well. Not a huge surprise there. And we've seen plenty of Silhouette today executing her power, or demonstrating her power, I should say.
Yeah, I'm sure Era, you know, will eventually end up playing. Now, you got a hero like Mage being on the board, and Era has been playing a lot of that lately. You got, of course, Dark Lady has been playing that a bit lately. But with the lineup that they have, it could be possible, but probably not. I wouldn't be surprised if they finish off with somebody to maybe lane with the Glacius or a Luna instead. Something like a Cthulhu Fawn, I think, would be a good final pick here. For a Hellborn team. A Torturer, Keeper of the Forest. The final two picks. So there you go. That's how it's going to be here for TT Esports.
Keeper of the Forest, again, another one of these heroes we haven't been seeing nearly as much in this event. We'll see how this works out for TTES. You know, Keeper of the Forest also the recipient of a semi-recent nerf as well, slowing down his jungling presence just a little bit, increasing the what's the proper wording here? They increased the attack speed of the trees, so they attack slower. They reduced the attack speed.
I know it is a little bit confusing when you say it that way. But
they increased the timer to 1.25 up from 1 second, so that does slow down their DPS quite a bit. Of course, slowing down his pushing power, his farming power, all that stuff. So there you go. You're talking about Cthulhu Fawn, Armadon along a similar mindset, going to be picked up for the Hellborn team.
Yeah, and that's definitely was thinking that, so I'll go ahead and take credit for that pick right there. So, just as smart as fly. Now, Armadon, very, very solid final pick. And speaking of Hani, you know, he, again, plays a very impressive Behemoth, but he also plays a bit of Armadon, as we've seen in recent history. So, Probably going to see that here as the ready ups are basically have basically happened. So got about 15 seconds left here before we're going to be going into this game. TT Esports taking off Fnatic. Raycall again. So much on the line for these two teams. We got TT Esports 3-0. Fnatic Raycall 2-2 currently here in the group stages. So very impactful victory here will be for either one of these teams, whoever comes out on top. And seeing these lineups and everything gets me even that much more excited because some entertaining play to be expected here.
Yeah, and also on top of that, we've seen just very little of Fnatic Raid Call so far on our stream. So it's just nice to see this team that quite a bit of hype surrounding them between being the returning winners, being that second EU team, all that stuff, their recent time, playing other games and such. There's the team that has a lot of talk and an interesting story behind them for this event. So just always bit of a Fnatic fan. It's cool to see a team that's been together for this long.
Yeah, no doubt a lot of questions coming into this event of what they'd bring to the table. But, I talked to Street before as well, and he was kind of right on this. And we do this a lot as, just fans in general in the community. One, we overreact, and that's just a given. But two is that they have done this in the past. I mean, Fnatic has done this for several previous DreamHack events, including the most recent one with the DreamHack Winter happened before this one, of course, where, there wasn't a whole lot of solid play for them going into the event, and there was a lot of questions concerning whether or not they were taking it seriously or preparing for it, and sure enough, they won the damn thing. So here they are. In this event, it was kind of a similar story. Now going into the event, the week before, again, they had some very impressive online results all of a sudden, so there was a little bit more hype surrounding after those especially. But they, here they are, 2-2 in the group stages, kind of sitting in the middle right now, and a big upset loss to Orange Esports. So, yeah, really, really unfortunate for them there, no doubt. And again, really needing a victory here to at least feel confident at being in a very comfortable position. But TT Esports, they want to stay undefeated. Witala made that very clear as I got the interview with him. So, again, expecting best play out of both of these teams. So.
Yeah, and actually while you were doing that interview, I got to talk to Shinx for just a couple of moments, and he's, sort of very humbling, a conversation, although it was short. Basically said, we've been practicing and we thought we would do well, but honestly, we didn't think that we were going to do this well. So that's sort of a powerful thing for a team manager to say in honesty, that kind of like, we're happily surprised at how well we're playing right now. We're all here, we're clicking. It's just going really well.
I think a lot of that has to, there's two things about that. One is initially when this tournament came out and the rules were announced for it, you have to have 4 out of the 5 players had to be from your region. And I think, that really got to them because, of course, they had both Riser and Leon Black from the North American region. And that was considered to be their A roster. Bobo wasn't a part of that. But they had to use Bobo because of that rule. And, again, Bobo, a great player. But they've even admitted themselves that the Riser was actually what they considered to be their A lineup. So that was a little bit unfortunate for them. But, they kind of got over it, obviously. They had a lot of time to do so. And felt somewhat comfortable. But then there was the WTS situation, and so you got that on top of it, where it's like, well, crap, now we miss a very good player in WTF. Yeah. What's going to happen? Well, of course, MyNuts comes to save the day here, and it's I could definitely see why Shinx would make a comment like that. But you know what?
And you're right. Those two things really do influence that kind of. We're coming, we're going to give it our all, but. It's just not our regular A team that we're super comfortable with, and that definitely, again, speaks to that organization in general. And like you said, Bobo, a very good player in his own right, just, hard to compete with someone like Riser.
Riser is a fantastic player.
So it's been going well. We'll see. Again, stuck in a pause here. Hopefully we can resume reasonably quickly as Era is back.
That he is, playing the Silhouette, of course, so. Even has his items already purchased, so won't need to be doing that coming out of this pause. Good for him. Trying to figure out what is going on, it seems like, as apparently TT Esports not even sure. No, that's apparently all that was needed. So here we go, continuing into the game now. We get this started. Let's see how the lanes are going to look here. Of course, again, see No-Tail on that Polywog Priest. Sure, we'll see him in that middle lane, and oh, look at that. He is going towards the middle lane. Looks like bottom is going to be Aluna Armadon. And that'll leave Silhouette Glacius to be going to the top lane. So 2-1-2 setup coming out here from Fnatic Raycall.
And I can't say that I'm too surprised. We've talked about Polywog Priest in that mid lane quite a bit. One of those heroes, quote-unquote classic hero that really benefits from the 2-1-2 lineup. Partially for the same reason we saw earlier on, we saw Bubbles in the mid lane, where you just, it's almost impossible to get completely denied experience. If you don't get farm, that's one thing, but you will be able to just manage that hill and stay reasonably close to the creeps within experience range. So I'm really not surprised to see Fnatic doing that with this lineup. Of course, they have two great lane combos as well, Glacius Silhouette as well as a Luna Armadon. So again, looks like some more connection issues here, Breaky.
Yeah, again, it happens. Especially, I know in this case, Fnatic is the one that, of course, they had to wait for the match to finish, and then they got to sit down and hook their stuff up. So, but here we are, waiting for the inevitable to happen, which is, of course, going to be resuming this game and moving on with it. So, with that 2-1-2 setup here for the Hellborn side, you look at the Legion team, and sure enough, it is that Valkyrie Behemoth lane top. So Bobo and Leon Black going to look to do work up there. Of course, you got Torture actually heading towards the middle lane, and Bubbles being played by My Nuts at the bottom lane. He'll be matched up in a difficult Aluna Armadon against them, so we'll see how he fares. But yeah, Keeper of the Forest currently heading towards that Hellborn jungle. Find that interesting to see if Watalba is going to look to be up there and maybe get a lot of pushing presence early on at this top lane as a result of doing so. So that could be very effective for TT Esports. We will see how it plays out for them. Torturer versus Polywar Priest. Slicks versus No-Tail, though. That's going to be the matchup in this lane.
That's going to be a hell of a mid lane. Yeah, solo mid, heads up, sort of the two, whatever the right word is, star players, ace players, your solo mid. What's the right term for that? You know, from back in the day, you know, your No-Tail versus Slicks mid.
Solo mid player. I mean, that's
they're just
there's a lot of players that come to mind. You know, when you think of a role like that, and you know, you got your Scandal, your No-Tail, your Era. Your Slicks, your Moon Meander.
Yeah, there you go.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. He's pretty good.
Moon Meander is our only fan.
Moon Meander is the only one in the audience right now. That's good.
I wish we could get a shot of this. It's pretty hilarious. We got this whole fucking. We got this whole. We got this whole booth here with all these chairs, and it's just Moon Meander sitting there.
VIP.
Out to 2T. See what's gonna happen. So
what's really interesting about Keeper of the Forest, jungling aggressively
there
though.
You go.
Yeah, is what?
I love it. He's somehow got using his VIP access to get in.
He's Moon Meander. Who's gonna say no?
Exactly.
Anyhow, seeing Keeper of the Forest, looks like he may just head back to the Legion jungle. I was gonna say it would be kind of strange because generally speaking, you don't want to push your opponent's close lane or short lane really early on, because that's going to open up a window for Era to static farm in a very, very safe location if they were to do that. So seeing him jungle up there would have been a little bit surprising, and I have a strong feeling he's going to end up in the Legion jungle, at least to start things off.
Well, we will see, as he is still heading back towards the top lane, though, so
perhaps I could be mistaken, but
no.
Seems a little strange.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, definitely wasn't expecting that, but again, I think a lot of it just simply has to do with, you know what, at the bottom lane, maybe Bubbles, you know, expecting to have struggle time, might as well just let him have that struggling time, and let's really just overwhelm this top side, especially with Silhouette being up here. You know, you get that level 6, level 7 mark on Keeper of the Forest, that early ring of sorcery, and you are pushing in that tower, applying a lot of pressure. So I think that may be the mindset when it's all said and done.
Yep,
coming out from our Hellborn team. So we'll see how that goes, though, as Watalba, sure enough, is heading towards that top lane and is going to be placing a Ward of Sight. Now, he will be spotted by this Ward of Sight right here, so Hellborn team will be very aware that a Keeper of the Forest is in their jungle, and we'll see how maybe Glacius plays against this. With the set, in fact, he may start harassing right off the bat, noticing that he's right here, so.
Yeah, notice Keeper of the Forest going straight for the pull and actually going to throw down that ward to block the pull as well after clearing it out for the first time. So smart play from Watalba. Kind of what we would expect in this situation, but smart nonetheless.
Oh, and he freezes the tree right there, trying to, you know, maybe get the kill and also distract, obviously prevent from getting away and even doing damage on the creep. So, yeah, very solid harassment, no doubt, coming out from our Glacius player right off the bat. So, going on. Blocking, but not enough of a block coming out from Bobo, and it looks like Silhouette will be fine, being played by Arrow, of course, as he turns around and even throws a little bit of a relentless salvo coming out. So, yeah, the fissure block not fully set there from Behemoth, and unfortunately for him, not able to get the kills resolved, but good attempt nonetheless.
Yep, certainly right. Always good to pressure a player like Era when he's in a situation like this. One thing that's really scary, though, especially for this Legion team, is Armadon having a good time down here in the bottom. We talked about Bubbles, of course, in a 2v1. You're going to be struggling quite a bit, but we do see Armadon picking up a lot of nice farm. In the mid lane, TteS actually taking a good bit of harassment from Slicks on that Torture. Obviously going to be able to survive just fine. Let's take a look at those creep scores in the mid lane and who's getting the better of the farm breaking.
Torture in the 7-2 compared to the 7-0 Polywalk Priest. So obviously very early on, just hitting that 2-minute mark now, but pretty even back and forth battle. I will say though, Torture, and again, this is kind of expected, taking advantage of the fact that he does have a little bit better harassment, so, you know, especially with those agonizing bonds. He can get up there with the chain reaction. You see right there, in fact, once again, using the level 2 agonizing bonds to really harass Polywalk Priest out of the lane almost. But once Polywalk Priest hits that level 6 mark, that's where things can definitely change, as we see all the time with that ward trap, which I'm sure will be coming out. But speaking of harassment at the bottom lane, Bubbles taking quite a bit of it down here, as Luna playing a very good babysit role with this Armadon and making sure Bubbles is completely back there. Now, he didn't manage to hit level 2, but the experience cannot be that great for Bubbles, and in fact, blowing up the XPM chart definitely is speaking for itself. So, great harassment here at the bottom lane. And Armadon, in the meantime, his farm looking pretty dandy at 316 gold per minute now.
Yeah, he's definitely having a good time, and I don't see much changing that in the near future. In this mid lane, though, per usual, those runes are going to be very important. The first one actually did go in favor of Slicks, though it was an invisibility, so without the bottle, couldn't do a hell of a lot with it. Oh, actually, it was never checked by TteS, so actually going to go up and bottle that invisibility, which is really good news for Slicks, and we'll have to keep close tabs on how that rune control continues. Yeah,
very, very important, obviously, and especially in a 1-versus-1 matchup with both heroes definitely getting that bottle. Torture with that Invis rune bottled up. We'll see if he finds an opportunity for it. Top lane, Valkyrie actually did a little bit of damage to look like, but again, the Fidget Stone on the wrong side of Silhouette right here would be my guess. At least I didn't catch the beginning of that, so I can only speak for what I saw at the end, but seems like not the correct positioning, but just unfortunate right there. Torture again going at it with Polywalk Priest, but there's that invisible rune that we're talking about, so he has it activated. If he can get position to land a level 2 chain reactions, never mind, will instead come out with the auto attack, and not going to say, or pretty much says that it's not worth spending the time, rather than just get those last hits in there. So trying to get that level 5 mark as well. But again, Polywalk Priest does have the slight level advantage here, and that will make him that much scarier, because that level 6, the ward trap comes out, and he will get a kill. The chain reactions agonizing bonds, but you see Polywalk Priest, he is more than fine. So it's coming up 14-2 Torturer against a 19-8 Polywalk Priest. So starting to get better and better for our no-tail player here.
Yeah, definitely right. So the second rune of the game did go in favor of Slicks, of course, running up top and bottling that regeneration rune. So now that we see him with a regen rune and Polywalk Priest with an empty bottle, I think we may see the tides turn a little bit in this upcoming wave or 2 of Priest.
I like how we're breaking down this middle matchup.
Yeah.
Like, not too often we do this, but, you know, again, you got Slicks versus no-tail. It's definitely one of the better matches you could possibly have in Heroes Near as far as Migos. Meanwhile, the top lane, no blood. Let's go. Maybe coming out Glacius. A final auto attack from Valkyrie. We'll get the kill. The Fissure Stone blocking Behemoth even a little bit right there, but he's going to be more than fine getting away from Silhouette. But Silhouette, look at Silhouette dropping the leap in from. Oh, what the turnaround from Silhouette. That Fissure Stone to sniper down, but what a turnaround kill coming out from Silhouette. She was tanking the creeps right there, which did most of the damage on the Era, but somehow comes through. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, there's that war trap that I'm talking about, the level 6 Polywalk Priest, and Torture gonna say his prayers as a chip roll nut taunt comes out on top of that. So all this sudden action just picking up like crazy here.
Yeah, absolutely right. That was up in the top lane, just a bit of a misplay from Leon Black there. Kind of unfortunate, but yeah, you're exactly right. That's what is that? When you get smacked, the inverse smackdown, when you smack down somebody but they kill you. What is that? Humiliation.
Humiliation, yes.
Oh, that's hysterical.
It never happens to me, so
it rarely ever happens.
I had trouble thinking of what it was.
Yeah, I rarely see it. We don't see it too
Best
often.
crowd ever.
That. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
All right, let's get it on.
Anyways.
GG.
Anyways, so yeah, we're back now though. Here in this game, but yeah, that top, I mean, that was pretty crazy. As you said, the humiliation coming out for Valkyrie right there. Thought she had the sure kill, and I thought she did too, but left a little bit too close, and Silhouette's like, all right, I'll take a kill before I die here. So, keeping the force, he's got to be pretty close to a. Okay, yeah, he has a pickle brain now. So yeah, I was gonna say Talisman, the Exile coming next. And he will have that Ring of Swords in the near future, and we'll see if that possible tower pushing comes into play. As a result of that, he will run into a Luna right here in the meantime, as a Luna is still level 3, but it is going to push back here for the forest. No roof from him or anything, so really not a whole lot he can do to that Luna. So we'll instead just let his minions farm and do what he can. But you look back at Armadon at this bottom lane. He's kind of just doing this thing quietly, but doing it very well. 373 gold per minute. He just finished his helm with the Black Legion right there 6 minutes into this game.
Yeah, that is scary, and that was one of the first things that jumped out at me at this game. Was like, all right, I mean, they're going to have trouble killing Bubbles repeatedly with this lane, but Armadon is just going to be free farming down here, and Hani is certainly doing something very close to that, and it's going to be scary. I think it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to shut down. Also, just as to note about Keeper of the Forest, we talked about that nerf slowing down his tree babies. And it really feels like it's showing here. You know, he's still sitting on that pickled brain. We're probably waiting for the courier, but it feels like back in the day, pre-Keeper nerf, that timing window was a little bit earlier. You know, I remember a few times you mentioned it seems like every game Keeper comes in that same time once he gets that Ring of Sorcery and pushes that Tier 1 tower. And that timing just isn't quite there anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely a delay. I mean, again, the math speaks for itself. It's just going to be delayed, so, and no doubt was a little bit here, but we do see the Ring of Sorcery delivered to him at the 7-minute mark. I know he's level 6, of course, so he's got that root ready. So if they find these players up here in the bad position, they will go for the initiation. But it doesn't look like they're giving them that chance. I mean, Silva and Glacius and Aluna all playing very passive up here at this top line. They're very aware, of course, of Keeper of the Forest, the fact that he is level 6, and he's going to be chased down. In fact, the invis at the last second, Polywalk Priest going to stride right past him, almost as if he still thinks he's running. But no, he just says, screw it, I'm going to go to the middle lane, continue farming, instead of doing anything else. Now, he does have wards ready, so we'll see if he maybe pushes this middle lane, as there goes the ward. So Tower going to start taking a lot of damage. Will the Legion team react to this? I don't know if they will, actually, because in the meantime, the bottom lane chain reaction missing right there, and Armadon going to be more than fine. In fact, they're going to turn around some damage. So Polywalk Priest, he could very likely get a tower kill right here if TteS eSports continues to be distracted elsewhere. Keeper of the Forest running into Aluna, and now Aluna dropping, but is he going to root? If he roots here, no, but not worth it to him. But again, this middle tower, how close is it? Vulnerability maybe? Oh, cancel. Look at the canceling right there from Noatel trying to maybe bait it. But no, he ends up getting it himself. So I guess that was also to make sure the creeps wouldn't get it. But anyways, yeah, well played by Noatel right there. So good distraction in the end.
Yeah, exactly right. First tower kill of the game, 8 minutes in, looking very good. And per usual against a team with a Keeper of the Forest, being able to pick up that first tower and at least stay on par with the pushing tower is great news. Part of that reason why we've seen Polywalk Priest banned so much in this event.
Yeah, we definitely have seen it banned quite a bit, which was a little bit surprising. I wasn't really expecting that coming into the event, but the first time at, 7, 8 max even that we've now casted here today that we actually get to see Polywalk Priest. So here the Forest, he's level 6. He can there's that Fidget Block. That time was on the right side. The arrow on top. 1.5 seconds. That should be enough. Silhouette tried to trigger out at the last second. Not in time, though. So great kill happening right there. Glacius at half-life kind of coming in. Polywalk Priest does not have his wards, though, so not nearly as confident as doing something right here. And out come the level 4 Tree Dogs. So, or level 3, excuse me, still. But very likely. Never mind, I thought they were maybe doing some massive pushing right there, but nope, not going to do some massive pushing just yet. I think they are aware that Polywalk Priest is nearby. Now they're definitely aware. The fidget, the arrow just missing right there in a Glacius. Good chance, good attempt right there.
Noble effort.
From TteS eSports. The noble effort, but unsuccessful.
Yes.
Nonetheless.
Unfortunate. Leon Black just aiming a little bit too far back with that arrow, but a very, very close. Probably would have just been an instant kill on that Glacius. So things continuing here, 3-2, only 9 minutes in, so a relatively passive game. Both teams really seem pretty comfortable farming. There hasn't really been too much roaming around, other than Keeper of the Forest moving around a bit, but other than that, a fairly static farming style game here, Breaky. Yeah,
it definitely has been for the most part. I mean, Silhouette, Aaron's farm really hasn't been all too impressive, and that's obviously big time to the credit of our Legion team, that behemoth Valkyrie lane up here, and with Keeper of the Forest presence. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, the wards are down towards her lands, and chain reaction. The Tongue Tap was canceled immediately as a result, and now Behemoth runs in with an ultimate. That Fidget on top. He wants to do big work right here, but the big cow may end up dying. No, he gets the shield at the last second, helping him stay alive. Chain reaction hitting Aluna right there, and Aluna should, maybe, I don't know. Can he actually get away? No, he cannot. The Agonizing Bonds will be enough to snipe her out. So double tap coming out right there for Slicks, as obviously Polywalk Priest was also picked off, so that was adding insult to injury. Yeah. Slicks goes for the ward trap, unsuccessful, and Torture gets a turnaround with a double tap.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught the very beginning of that, but Noatel was, oh my gosh, he missed the ward trap, but instead he was path blocking Slicks, who was trying to run down the hill, and he had him path blocked right next to the wards, and he absolutely couldn't move. It was pretty incredible, but unfortunately, as you said, it all backfired in the end, so a little bit rough to see. Ready to see Keeper of the Forest put some pressure on this tier 1 tower in the mid lane, going to summon another round of tree babies here. The forts are going to come in. There's a nice chain reaction, but Keeper of the Forest going to be in big trouble. There's the tongue tie. There's the root coming out. Is he going to be able to survive? survive this? It looks like he will. Armadon spamming those spines. Is he going to juke up or down? And Armadon not going to be able to connect, unfortunately. So Keeper of the Forest is going to survive and also pick up that tower kill.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh, that sucks. He didn't get the root off because he was actually trying to do it right before the stun happened on him from a Luna. But he was able to get off nonetheless, eventually got away. So yeah, very good job right there from Metallica. And the fact that they got that tower kill, very huge as well. So well played by Keeper of the Forest right there. Could have very easily been denied, but because of his perseverance, because he played so aggressive right there, they did indeed get it. Double damage rune spawns up top. We'll see Keeper of the Forest runs right by it. Of course, no vision up here for the Legion side, so may have just missed it. And that may buy time for our Hellborn side to maybe get a chance to pick up that DD rune, but Polywalk Priest is actually at the bottom lane, so not going to be coming for him anytime soon. But speaking of the bottom lane, Arrow just missing Armadon right there. And he'll be more than fine. Not that really would have done a whole lot anyways, but he's farming now 382 gold per minute, continuing to just be that static farmer here in this game. And Hani is looking good as a result of it. I mean, the Helm of the Black Legion Mystic Vestments already has nearly another 1,000 gold saved up with his other items. So Bubble's doing what he can, but unfortunately it's not too much for my nuts here.
Yeah, certainly right. And, you know, speaking about lack of rune vision, really a lack of points in general for TT Esports right now. We see one just being put down by Bobo here on the high ground at the top rune, but other than that, you know, they had a couple minutes here totally blind on the map, which is just a little bit surprising.
Yeah, it's definitely these obviously top tier games here, especially at the DreamHack event. You think warding is something that's just, well, it is a necessity, and you expect to just be down, you know, 24/7 in these matches. But you know, you are gonna have those, very rare it might be, but moments. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, actually, Armadon does some diving with Polywalk Priest, gets the kill on Bubbles, and this tower will end up falling as a result. I don't think TT Esports, there's not much they can do to stop that, so big tower kill once again. No-Tail not only got credit for the tower kill, but he did also get that hero kill just prior to it. So No-Tail kind of stepping it up here, and we've been so impressed with Armadon's farm, but he's sitting at 375, and there we go, just purchases his portal key right there. Meanwhile, Luna trying to port out, not going to happen though, chain reactions hit, and prevent her from doing so. So a good kill for TT Esports, but yeah, Polywalk Priest with that portal key. It's always deadly combination on No-Tail, especially.
Yeah, it certainly is, and he's certainly been playing very well also. Down in that bottom lane there, he came around from behind, threw down the ward trap, and was also able to place the wards in a position to finish off Bubbles, but then continue to take out the tower. And that really is the golden ticket with Polywalk Priest. If you can find those warding positions to make that happen.
5-second arrow on his silhouette. Is it going to be enough damage? Bubbles coming in. Yes, of course it is. That Fidget's on top. Very well lined up arrow for Leon Black right there. Glacier's going to try to pour it out. And yes, it is going to happen. Obviously, the silence does not affect that. So we'll be fine in the end. But yeah, great 5-second arrow landed by Leon Black right there on Valkyrie. On top of Arrow playing that silhouette. So what farm silhouette was actually starting to pick up a little bit of. Kind of just dropping now once again right there. As a result of that kill, she's now 1-3. But, I mean, she's still managing 270 gold per minute despite being 1-3. So honestly, really isn't that bad here for Era, especially the circumstances. But still, not the most ideal. But yeah, you got your Armadon and your Polywalk Priest really picking up that slack. Polywalk Priest still that portal keys we keep going back to. You know, when are we going to see him start using that really aggressively now, as if he hasn't been already? Also really interested to see. Well, never mind. Obviously with the Striders, so I was going to say post days, but he does have the Striders, so could sell that though and eventually get it later on. He does too from time to time, so I wouldn't be surprised about that. But anyways, we will see.
Yeah, certainly right. It's almost a little bit interesting. Like you said, he's one of those players that will kind of tend to stick on red boots for a pretty long time and just pull up that gold for the boots of travel, as you were mentioning, so, or post-haste, pardon me. It's just a little bit interesting, seeing the difference in no-tail etiquette here. Armadon, though, man, he is just continuing to be a farming beast, sitting just below 400 GPM in the mid lane. Again, Bubble's going to get taught. Look at that F blocking, and down goes my nuts to the hands of No-Tail.
Yeah, I thought he was actually going to get away right there with the Shell Surf, but just was not able to port in time. So, very good kill by Polywalk Priest coming out. So, there you go. There's an answer for us. Already using that portal key very early on now. As soon as he gets it, really, to do some damage right there with a kill onto a struggling Bubbles. Just continues to struggle throughout this game. Polywalk Priest portal key away. The Torture comes up with the chain reactions. Look at that impalement damage. The agonizing boss comes out, and down goes Polywalk Priest. The invisible Torture, now level 11, came out of nowhere. That's what an invisibility rune does, of course. And gets the kill. Runs into a very low life Aluna in the meantime, so Aluna needs to be careful right here not to at least give Torture a kill. But they make it a kill to Torture. The power throw. Oh, a nice dodge right there from Slicks. And Slicks will stay alive, it looks like, in the end. Wow, what reaction on his part. knowing that the power throw was coming. You look at a fissure stun from Behemoth as well, making sure Armadon cannot get close enough. And Slicks will survive with barely any life right there. Once again, big plays. Keep it the force over in the meantime at the top lane. You ain't so lucky there.
Yeah, not at all. 5-second stun going to connect with no tail, but of course no follow-up coming. So unfortunate with Talbot had to die, but he did pick up that tower kill. Slicks, he's just, every game it seems like he gets in these situations where it seems like certain death and barely survives with double-digit HP. I mean, is this guy a mathematician or just ridiculous?
We're going to see a red power throw? Okay, I was going to say.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, that was a crazy escape, no doubt. So very well played.
He just does it so consistently.
It seems like
the thing. You know, in some cases there will be times when RNG is on your side and you get away with just a little bit of health, but he just does it so much. It's just so hard to believe that it's an RNG-based scenario. So again, speaking to the power of Slicks.
Yeah, and again, he's so used to dealing with that lane scene that he has to deal with 250 plus every single game because being from Australia, as these other Australians do, but you know, you could say that kind of works to an advantage because here you come to a lane event where you don't have to deal with that, and so your reaction is going to be a bit quicker. You kind of train yourself to be so quick. So
yeah,
got to think a step ahead even. But another pause here, and it looks like 2-minute break apparently going to be coming up from TT Esports. So
emergency bathroom break
again. Apparently, they disappeared just randomly. So 2 players just disappeared.
Happens from time to time.
It does, unfortunately. You know, you kind of lose them, but
invisibility cloaks and whatnot.
They come back. They always do.
They always do.
So anyways, just to stress how important this game is, as really every game is, but TT Esports currently 3-0. You got Fnatic Raycall at 2-2, so TT Esports trying to stay tied with Trademark Esports, who is now 4-0 themselves, and gonna fight for that first place spot. Where Fnatic Raycall, on the other hand, you know, they're really playing to kind of just stay afloat here. I mean, a loss here would put them at 2-3, and that's going to be tough going into that second day. Or actually, no, they still play TDM later today, so they still have one more match even tonight here against TDM. So
that's the other thing to note. You know, TDM is going to be a rough matchup. Yeah. So, you know, if you're going to drop some games, drop a series, TDM is kind of the team to do it against. You want to pick up those wins against teams that you kind of sort of favored it against.
Like Orange Esports.
Yeah, like Orange Esports. You need those wins in a tournament format like this. So, you know, they're in a little bit of a rough spot. Even winning this, they'd be 3-2, and that would put them tied with Black Fade in that 3rd, 4th slot. So, big game. Big game.
It is. So, I believe the teams that they did beat so far, MUFC and GA. So, you know, again, those are games that they really should win. So. Yeah. So far they are 0-2 against the teams that, you know, maybe a little bit more tougher in that Black Fade, and of course Orange Esports Malaysia, and here they are against TT Esports. So definitely needing a win here. You could even argue. But anyways, still waiting for them to come back. As far as let's take a look at actually items. Keeper the Force again. He's kind of stepped it up as expected. Astrolabe on him as well as a ring mail. So possible Soul's Bulwark in the near future, or I guess even Plated Greaves, yeah. Seems still with Little Red Booties, so
one or the other, maybe both.
That may make more sense. But then you got Armadon. He's like, well, I already got my Soul's Bulwark, and I'm farming 446 gold per minute. It just keeps going so much up every time I look at it.
So much up.
So much up.
So much up. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So much ups.
So many ups. LeBron style.
Oh gosh.
Oh man.
LeBron.
No.
Nope. Our crowd's growing at least. That's good.
Yeah, we got
couple more players.
Pros in the front now.
We got some representation for all the teams. We got TDM,
nice.
we got Black Fade, we got Orange.
Nice. We got a whole mix.
Kind of represent here.
Maybe they're strategizing for their super secret mid-wars team.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a possible team right there that we have in front of us.
You never know. You never know. Luck of the draw.
Obviously, you know, being able to watch the match on a big screen and here at the event that we have, it's doing some research to see how the players play, and I'm sure that's what they're accomplishing out of this, and also just trying to, you know, do something to pass the time while they wait for the next match. Of course, they need to wait for these 2 to finish. So we do got this match then. The plan is, again, according to the schedule, we do have 2 more matches after this. I believe it's MUFC versus GA next. And then the final one, of course, being that TDM versus Fnatic. So that is the plan.
Yep.
At least. And I keep saying that. That's the plan.
Yep.
Things could change. I'm just saying. But that's the plan.
Just saying. Just saying.
I will say that again. It is a pretty strict schedule when it comes to this tournament because of just how it just had to work out really. So
many games. That is the one drawback of doing an 18 round robin. It just makes so many games.
Yeah.
It's
True.
good, but at the same time, that is just one drawback when we're working with a limited time here for this tournament.
Very true. That's a very, very good point to bring up. So, but yeah. Anyways, we're back. They're back.
They're back. Okay,
it looks like we may be good to go here very shortly, as long as Fnatic gives them the go-ahead. But yeah, so Fnatic, I mean, again, they're actually in a very solid spot here because of the farm, especially on their Armadon. But NoTail's been making some big plays here, and then you got Era, who's, he's 2-3 now, and his GPM is over that 300 gold per minute mark, and he's going to farm some stacked creeps right here in the jungle to even increase it that much more. So Era being himself and so constantly starting to go up and up as Sustainer finished. Nullstone very likely in the works for him. We'll have that in the near future now. So
yeah. Bart, sorry.
No, fine.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I was just going to say, looking at that GPM chart, it's very convincing for our Hellborn side right now. Seeing Armadon at 450 GPM and the highest farmer on the Legion side, Torture at only 320. It's just a little bit startling.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and that kind of goes to the point, too, of this team. You look at this team, and, of course, they got Valkyrie sitting at that 300 gold per minute mark, and she can definitely be a solid carry. But I feel like, especially with the way this game is going, and we're only 18 minutes in, but TteS eSports, they're the ones that going to need to keep the pace going. I mean, they are leading hero kills, and when it comes to tower pushing, obviously they have those 2 tower kills compared to, well, the 3 for Fnatic. So actually Fnatic is winning in that sense. But yeah, it's kind of getting into a timetable almost for TteS eSports. Again, as early on as it is, they need to make things happen here because the more and more they start falling behind, it's the recovery chance for them with the lineup that they have will be very, very little to none. So I'm really interested to see how they take advantage of that or how they try to play against it. So far, not a whole lot coming out. We do have Keeper the Foresight at this bottom lane. Of course, he's ready to go maybe for a push at this bottom tower, but Aluna and Armadon are already here to set up a defense. Armadon pushing up a little bit. Oh no, Armadon, you don't realize what you're doing right here. He runs it with the Stop Storm. In comes the Valkyrie Prism, but the Legion team not really reacting to it. Now, I gotta think that's a case of, all right, there's no way it's just himself. He has to have teammates nearby.
Right.
They have a word of sight. I find that very interesting that they really didn't jump. And it seems like I mean, he is very tanky, let's be honest. So maybe honestly, he probably would have survived knowing it is Armadon. Now that I think about it. Middle lane, oh, the ward jump successful, but Valkyrie leaps away. However, the Hex is going to come out right here from Polywalk Priest. A tongue tat on top of that. But of course, with no wards nearby, not going to do too much for you, buddy. And NoTail will go down right there. So great job on Mineouts coming at the last second. Help clean out. The power throw hitting Valkyrie, but she is able to survive. The arrow comes out. Not going to hit, though, but...
Yeah, so a nice little pick-me-up there for TteS eSports. Leon Black now on a serial killer streak. Unfortunately, NoTail not quite so lucky. I do have a bit of an announcement here, though, for AQCPK. Team Itsugosu has just won the BYOC tournament.
Oh, wow.
2-0 against Team Mono, a.k.a. SGTY, in the finals.
Yeah, of course, Swinnamelons and his team coming all the way out from North America, at least Swinnamelons. So, yeah, being defeated, though, by Team Itsugosu, it sounds like. So, those 2-0, you said?
2-0, yeah. Well, that's the report I have from Admiral Dawes.
Oh, there you go.
So there you are. So Team Itsugosu will be joining the ranks here in the group stage. Maybe, I guess, 1 or 2 matches tonight, but mostly tomorrow we'll be seeing.
Yeah, I think they actually start in the next round. So
okay,
after these matches finish here, they're playing. Welcome to the BYOC.
Yeah. Welcome to the tournament, guys.
Yeah.
It's only 3 a.m.
Now get going.
Yeah. So, but there you go.
Ooh, initiation here at this bottom lane. Double damage picked up by Polywalk Priest right there. The Hex going to be used on the bubbles. He doesn't have his wards, so he's going to try to chase him down. Meanwhile, Keeper the Force taking a lot of damage. The Water Revelation comes down, and that'll be the saving grace in terms of getting the kill right there. For Hellborn side, you do see Polywalk Priest still chasing the bubbles. Oh, the Electric Troll right before he could shell support will take him out. So good timing right there coming out from NoTail, but also good timing by NoTail picking up that double damage rune right before using the Hex of his as well as the portal key. And Armadon continuing to farm here in the Legion jungle. So things continuing to look better and better right now for our Legion team. Slick's doing all that he can, though. Once again, he is farming 362 gold per minute on this Torturer. Dalvin Command, he actually picks up a Beast Heart now, so interesting. Probably going to be going for that Helm of the Black Legion here. He runs into Silhouette, but Silhouette returning the damage. The Death Lotus, the Relentless Salva, so powerful, not going to be enough to the Impalement. Just a little bit too much for Silhouette to handle, and Torturer gets the kill. So Silhouette thought she had a sure thing there. Ended up not being so.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, and that's a really good thing for TteS eSports right there, because in that little engage sort of outside of the Kongor pit, it seemed to me like they just weren't really ready for that. You know, Keeper of the Forest thought he might be safe. They scattered. Valkyrie threw the arrow and it missed. And everyone just ran in their own direction. Of course, Slick's not being there really puts a damper on things. He's their ace card right now. If you look at that XP per minute tab, they need Slicks in these team fights.
Yeah, he is. Again, continues to be a big factor here for this Legion team. Polywog Priest in the meantime, again, missing that unfortunately, but was able to jump Bubbles, and this time coming through with the kill. So with the War Trap yet again. So it's been working out pretty well for him. And I believe just saw him purchase a Gnome's Wisdom, actually. Yeah. And that is an item we've been seeing a little bit more too recently. And I want to say it has been no-till on Polywog Priest. We've definitely seen him purchase it before. So, you know, you have heroes like Armadon and even Silhouette spamming, using some mana quite often. So
exactly. Yeah, I was just going to say, with this team, it looks like a smart item pickup. They have, especially with an Armadon, I mean, you just can't go wrong.
Yeah, so a unique, but also it makes sense pick up here from Polywog Priest. So, I mean, Torture again, though, doing all that he can right now to make things happen for his team. But really, Leon Black, I think, is a big focus here, and he's not doing too bad. He's got that level 1 shield breaker, so he's on his way to becoming that right-click damage turret that the Legion team will definitely need. So it's a matter of if they can put it together now.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that TT Esports is kind of waiting for are those core items. Once they get that portal key on Behemoth, possibly even a portal key on the Keeper of the Forest, we may see them group up and get a lot more aggressive, because they have some very clear AoE synergy here once they all group up and push. I think they're just waiting for those core items to make that engage just a bit easier when it comes.
Yeah, that portal key on Behemoth, as always, will be very, very, very useful
it's
pickup
crucial,
here
man.
For TT Esports. So.
And he's getting close. 1,300 gold in the bank. He's getting there.
He's trying. Yeah, they're actually having him push up some lanes now a little bit. You see the rest of the team here in the bottom lane trying to maybe find a gank opportunity on Armadon, but it's not going to happen. He falls back before it happens. By the way, Armadon has 4,800 gold pulled up, and then you got Silhouette also 3,400 gold pulled up. So Fnatic doing a thing of just saving up all that monies, and will eventually buy something. But Honey's past the 500 gold per minute mark. Jesus, it just doesn't stop. I mean, it just keeps going up and up and up. I mean, what is he going to buy? Is he just going to finish a Soul's or a Demonic Breastplate here? I mean, he's going to go for something else. We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, though, the wards come out in the middle lane, and the tower is going to start dropping now. In the meantime, we also have the bottom lane pressure coming in from our Legion team, though, so they are going to take that out, it looks like. And it'll end up being some tower exchanges, but a lot of tower racing going on here now.
Yeah, the glyph was used by our Legion side to try and delay Fnatic a bit more so they can hopefully get an upper hand here at this tier 2 in the bottom lane. So there is going to be an opportunity for some ports to come in. Is this tower going to be able to be defended? Hani's here kind of by himself, the lone defender in a 1v4 scenario. Looks like he is going to buy enough time, though, for both Aluna and Polywog Priest to get here. And it looks like this tower is going to survive. Not quite in a deny range, unfortunately, for Fnatic, but it is defended nonetheless.
Man, that Behemoth's heart on Armadon, so that proved to be his item of choice here, and we saw in that fight, I mean, he has 2,600 life already. That is just absurd. Keeper of the Forest is going to have to root right here, trying to use it very defensively to get away with the Tongue Tide, but nice kill, Phil canceling the Tongue Tide, and it will buy time for Keeper of the Forest to get away, it looks like. And I think that's maybe how it finishes, actually, as Keeper of the Forest. Just a matter of walking away right now. You see the red power throw coming out from Aluna right there, kind of clearing through some trees, maybe sniping somebody, but not enough for any kills. But, yeah, I mean, 2,600 life. Look at everyone else in this game. I mean, the next closest is what? Is that 1,600 on Behemoth?
Yeah.
No, not why? It doesn't even have 1,600. I just read that wrong. 1,400 on Keeper of the Forest.
Yeah,
so
that's insane.
That is just ridiculous. I mean,
Hani is just tanked out of his mind right now. And you know, one of the things, though, with a hero like Armadon, you can get to that point where he becomes so tanked the other team can sort of just ignore it, almost. You know, all that farm, probably be better off with someone like Silhouette, but certainly not something wrong with that on Armadon either. So we'll see how it plays out. Hani's been pretty passive this game, though. He's only 1-0-3, so hasn't been too active as far as setting up kills. And now that he has all these core items, especially if they get Kongor here, I think he will for sure be more active. Tree Baby's coming in, though, so it is scouted out. It looks like TT some sort of defense here if Fnatic commits.
Yeah, on that point you're making, though, I think it is a case of, honestly, TT Esports, they should not focus Armadon whatsoever. I mean, they should. There is no point. I mean, he is so tanky right now. And Armadon, of course, he can be a very scary hero to focus because of that back-turning ability. We do see initiation, though, in the meantime, on to Torturer, and Torturer in a lot of trouble. Did get the invis over Keeper of the Forest, trying to help keep him alive, as well as that shield. And it looks like it is going to be enough for so well played right there from TT Esports. Some great support going on. and they do stay alive, but now back to Kongor, Fnatic recall goes. They know that TT eSports, they kind of used a bit right there. Are they going to have enough to stop them? But Bubble's going to go for it. The shelter's not going to come through, but there's a Kelvin on top of the Behemoth portal key initiation. So the fight has commenced, but look at Armadon. He's still well alive when it's all said and done. And now the damage return happening. Behemoth will get the finish done off, but it will not matter. Just too much happening. Polywalk Priest jumps back in. He's going to finish off keeping the force down. Polywalk Priest may fall right here. The shield breaker, very powerful from Valkyrie. No, it's not going to be enough, though. Valkyrie trying to port out. The Parthos snipes down. Bubbles right there. Valkyrie is able to port away, but Keeper of the Force will fall. So when it's all said and done, Fnatic recall, easy fight, and they are going to clean up Kongor.
They didn't even have polywalk wards for that. That's the amazing part. Very well executed, like you said. Now that they have Kongor, I don't know if we could call it a momentum swing, but furthering their lead by quite a bit. Of course, that token now in the hands of Silhouette is going to be scary. Arrow with about almost 3K in the bank. We'll see what he does with his next item choice, but I'm going to guess it's a portal key.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't be surprised by that one. The 3,000 gold saved up. So especially now with the token of life pick up, I mean, can afford to play very aggressive here in this game. And you know what? It feels weird saying this only 27.5 minutes in, but I think it's going to do a point where TT eSports is just going to get too overwhelmed. I keep looking back at their lineup that they have, and I just don't see a lineup that's going to be able to fight back from this insane GPM that Armadon has, let alone the Silhouette on top of that, and then even Polywalk Priest. It's just so ahead right now. 11,000 gold lead, really, 14,000 experience lead, as we are now 28 minutes into the game. So, of course, they are going to try, give it their all, and you can't blame them for that, but it's a very, very difficult spot, and I think it's what they're kind of doing here is really what they need to do. So, just stay together. Just stay grouped up together, go into, try to be this mass death ball here, and hope that you can maybe pick some people off and then push from there. But, spreading out, farming yourself, you're just leaving yourself open for ganks. It's very likely will happen, as we've seen throughout this game. And the longer you wait, the more worse things are going to happen. Valkyrie gets caught, so speaking of spreading out, she was by herself. She eventually goes down. Armadon runs into the rest of them, and here we go. Once again, the Stormspear going to be used on Armadon, trying to help get away, as Torture will to get the invis from Keeper of the Forest. And Keeper of the Forest, though, he puts himself in a horrible position as a result of that. He has a root. Is he going to be able to get off right here? They did want to use it. The tongue tie comes out, and down goes Keeper of the Forest. So even if you wanted to, didn't have the chance to.
It just keeps getting worse, Breaky. I mean, we saw Behemoth. He has that portal key, and in that fight in the Kongor pit, he actually got an okay ultimate off, but he's only level 10. It just doesn't do enough damage. Again, going back to credit that point you made, do they have the damage output to shut down this Armadon? And I'm tending to agree with you that I don't think so, especially at this point, given how far behind they are.
Yeah, I mean, nearly 2,900 life. I mean,
it's just, it's too much.
It's ridiculous. We're 29 minutes into the game. Have that much life is just what? So yeah, it really just isn't possible to kill him. It seems like with the way this game is going on. They do get a 5-second arrow, so that's some good CC on him. But you see the rest of the team, they're just like, all right, you can focus Armadon all you want. We're gonna run away though. I know that we don't have much of a chance without him being able to move around. So Silhouette takes a lot of damage right there. Shoei Fine comes back in fact, and Silhouette helps with the return. Valkyrie falls now. Silhouette goes down, but of course the token of life bringing her back up. Polywalk Priest falling though in the midst of it all, and Polywalk Priest will fall to the ground. Keeper of the Forest thinking he's invisible. Unfortunately, standing right on top of Ward of Revelation, and he will go down too. Bubble's able to snap out Illuna in the background, but those Quells are just doing so much damage as expected. The chase is on to Behemoth now, and Behemoth very likely a dead cow right now. There we go. Bubble's the lone survivor, and he's going to have to shell serve into the base to port away. So this tower will easily fall. Now we're going to see some racks taking some damage now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, now it just keeps getting worse. I said it once, and I'm going to say it again. The one possible positive here is both of No-Tail's buybacks.
Wow, yeah. I love No-Tail. He just randomly happens. Like, you wouldn't even expect it. There's like no point to do it, to be honest, or in case of so many teams that wouldn't, or so many players wouldn't do that, but just look at him, and he always seems to be out of buybacks. Bubbles gets picked off back there, and there goes the rack on top of that. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, he doesn't have buybacks.
Again, one positive amongst quite a few negatives here. But, of course, this mid lane going to fall. We're going to see the Hex come on the Keeper of the Force here, and he may fall yet again. He is going to get stunned, interrupting the Behemoth casting time here. So very nicely done. Polywalk Priest going to fall again. Sorry, No-Tail, but you got to stay dead for the next 60 seconds. because you are all out of buybacks, buddy. I'm going to see this fight continue. Silhouette actually taking a hell of a lot of damage, also doing a lot of damage as well. Beautiful Storm Spirit on the Torture that will keep him alive. Hani going to be able to finally finish him off, though. Armadon still hovering just around max health, regenerating faster than this team on the Legion side can handle, it would seem. Getting into the well here, going to dive the well, turn his back, it looks like. Is he going to do enough damage to pick up these kills? Is this going to be a hat trick?
Oh my God!
And it's a hat trick. Turns his back on the well. Fnatic Hani.
Oh my God, that was just brutal. And okay, yeah, TteS was like, you know what?
I'm done.
That's it.
I'm done.
It's what's the point after that? That's diving the well, turns his back, and then Quills comes spamming. So there you go, Fnatic recall, very important victory for them, and they get it over here over TT Esports. So again, that puts them now at 3-2 as a result of that, and TT Esports will fall to 3-1. So obviously still in a very good spot themselves, but. Fnatic really needed that win, so it's good that they got that for their sake.
Absolutely. What a way to finish that game. Hani with all that farm, turns his back in the well. I gotta love it. That got my blood pressure up a little bit. Might be able to stay awake for these next 2 games.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious. I mean, usually we don't see those moments, so it's like way later in the game. I mean, it's completely over. The team is just zerging them in the well. But no, Armadon's like, you know what? I found a chance right here.
I'm going solo.
Legitimate strategy with the farm that he had. He could tank that well for a bit, and with that back turned, I mean, they could not do anything about that. So.
Fnatic was just looking good. I mean, No Tail played a fantastic Polywog Priest, as he tends to do, but they just seemed on. You know, in that game, it seemed like TT Esports just was a little more sporadic. They didn't have that same team synergy. It almost seemed like some of that sleepiness maybe catching up with them. But
it's possible.
Not to take anything away from Fnatic Raid Call. They played a fantastic game, a well-deserved win.
They did, they definitely did. So by all means, deserving of that victory there. So congratulations to the game. And again, it puts them at a 3-2 record now. So feeling a little bit better, but. So coming marquee, so that's going to be the really big one. A win there, then they're all of a sudden they're back to being in a pretty good spot. A loss there though, it's going to be iffy. Honestly, will. So they definitely got quite the road ahead of them. So it's going to be interesting how they finish. TT Esports, they do too. You know, they still got 3 more matches to go themselves. They're sitting a comfortable 3-1, but you know, it's not any guarantees by any means. So it's going to be fun to see how it plays out here.
Absolutely right. So again, guys, I think we are going to cut to a quick commercial break, and I believe we have a couple more games still to come. So, of course, I'm Zyori.
I'm Breaker CBK. Stay tuned, guys. More action to come.